Hello, my friends. I am Peymon Mottahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. People ask me about this friend of mine, old friend called Lynn Meredith, who authored 2 books, Vultures in Eagle's Clothing and How to Cook a Vulture. Who was she? What was she all about? Well, I'm here to tell you about this courageous lady. I met Lynn Meredith in 1994, where she worked out of a tiny little business space in Huntington Beach, California, off Beach Boulevard, promoting the book Vultures in Eagle's Clothing. I used to live just about 12 miles down the road in Tustin, California. Both were in Orange County, California, a big, huge suburb of Los Angeles, California. Very quickly, I liked her book because it told you a lot of truth about the Federal Reserve, about jury's power to veto bad laws, about our rights, about our freedoms, about how we've been enslaved by international banksters, and much more. It also told people how to get out of the jurisdiction of the federal government, how to become a state citizen, not a U.S. citizen created by the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Now remember, I started in the freedom law movement in 1992. So this was roughly about 2 years after I got involved in the freedom law movement. I was young. At the time, I was only 31 years old. So quickly, I became a great salesman of her books, and therefore became good friends with Lynn. Lynn grew and grew and grew, and she got a big office in Seal Beach or Sunset Beach, California. I think it was Sunset Beach, which is just south of Long Beach, California. She had a 3-story, like a suite place very much near the beach there. And she also sold trusts. And she claimed that these trusts are a key to helping you protect your business. And these sovereign pure trusts that she sold were told by the IRS to be free of requirement to file and pay income taxes. You can put your business in this trust, sovereign pure trust, and then no longer have to file and pay any income taxes. She was a passionate lady, passionate for freedom to the core of the heart. She believed in freedom big time, and she spoke from her heart about the need to restore our freedoms. She gets my commendation and respect for willing to stand up to corruption that's out there within the federal government. So Vultures in Eagle's Clothing was a very successful book, which later on got followed up with the second book called How to Cook a Vulture. Okay, stop filing and paying income tax, and to how to cook the Irish with the fire of the law. As you can see with the cover of her books, she was willing to be out there with the bright yellow, red, and blue patriotic American colors to expose the criminality of the federal government. However, Lynn unfortunately had made some mistakes also. Her and I both learned about state citizenship from a guy named Richard McDonald, who's passed away now as well. And he was a big guru, big expert on state citizenship versus U.S. citizenship. Remember, folks, we all are state citizens, U.S. citizens, and U.S. nationals at the same time. It's not a citizenship issue. The reason why you don't have to file income tax is because the Internal Revenue Code, federal tax laws, apply primarily to citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. United States in the Internal Revenue Code means the District of Columbia, not the 50 states they pretend that it applies to. So, when I found out back in late 94, early 95, that I was wrong about the state versus U.S. citizenship issue, I wrote an essay about it. I debated Richard McDonald at the monthly event he had at Beverly Garland Holiday Inn Hotel in North Hollywood by Burbank. As my apology to those few who I had misled to believe that citizenship is the answer to being free from Irish tyranny and slavery. I ran across Lynn Meredith in the Orange County Law Library one evening. And as always, I was glad to see her. I was friendly to her. Unfortunately, Lynn was not friendly toward me. She seemed like she was upset at me. And I asked her, Lynn, what's wrong? What's the problem? She wouldn't tell me. She acted upset. Still. And I couldn't figure out why. We were always good friends. All of a sudden it hit me. I've been telling people recently that the state citizenship argument versus U.S. citizenship that her and I both were promoting was wrong. And she heard about me speaking about this issue. And she took my disagreement as a personal attack on her. But it was not. And I told that to Lynn. I said, Lynn, I'll look this stuff up in the law library right here. It's not anything against you. You were not the first one to come up with this state versus U.S. citizenship theory. It's Richard McDonald. But unfortunately, she was offended, wouldn't talk to me, and, we didn't have much contact after that. A little bit we had over the years, but not too much. That was all in 1995. Lynn kept growing, became more and more successful, made millions, and then the government indicted her in 2003, and her trial was in downtown Los Angeles. I lived at that time in Phelan, California, in high desert of Southern California, about an hour northeast of downtown Los Angeles. I went to a trial to support my friend, even though she did things wrong, even though she refused to listen to me, refused to let me help her. I still felt, as a patriotic American for freedom, to be there to defend her. I tried to help her. I tried to guide her. But still, she wouldn't listen. She wanted to do her own thing. Unfortunately, as a result, she lost and got convicted in 2004 of various different stuff, tax stuff. They even convicted her of having multiple passports, which she did get. But she refused to testify because she was afraid to testify about why she did what she did. That her second passport was because she honestly lost the other one and got a second one. So she got convicted in 2004. And I believe she served they put her in prison for about 7 to 10 years. Anyhow, when she got out, whenever that was, no one else heard from her again. I do not know, in 2023 right now, if she's alive or went to heaven. All I can tell you is I love her. I appreciate her courage. I wish she would have listened more so I could have helped her. But it is what it is. People of God, all of us make our own individual choices in life. Lynn, if you see this, I made this because I love you and I care about you. Get in touch with Freedom Law School. If you're in heaven, you're back with God. You did contribute to the cause of freedom by putting some material out, even though some of it was great and some of it was not so great. So, folks, Freedom Law School has tested this stuff for decades. For over 30 years, I've been teaching Americans about the income tax fraud. If you've not been to our website, you need to go to freedomlawschool.org. There, take the 7 steps to free yourself of Irish deception, robbery, and slavery. The first 5 steps are absolutely free. Anybody could do and should do it as an American. Write your congressman about the law. The other 2 steps at the end are optional. If you want to take part in restoring freedom in America and have the backing of fellow patriots, Americans behind you to live free, all working together. So, folks, seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Find it at freedomlawschool.org now.